So what have we witnessed today?
Piece of history.
India, Sri Lanka. Same vibes.
What
Asia
only
Cup
thing
final.
Asia Cup played in whites.
Yeah, the only thing
that's the only
is
difference.
the colored clothing has turned into white, and the color of the ball has turned from white to red. As much as you expect bowlers to dominate in South Africa, but I think this sort of dominance wouldn't have been expected even by the staunchest of Indian supporters. Yesterday we spoke about whether India can fight back. I don't think a lot of us gave them a chance, primarily because of what the history has done to India and South Africa, and also how they played that first test match. This, I must say, is a comeback. I'm only saying comeback not for this test match, but comeback in the sense of the series, a comeback for the ages. Not trying to compare it to the Australia series because that was just next level. But even then, in a series, 36 all out sort of a situation which you had in Adelaide, India come back to do so well in that series. Similar, you lose by an innings and 30 odd runs, to come back and dismiss the opposition, the home team, for 55. I think this is something that is going to be remembered for very long, unless India go on to lose the test match from here.
Since you've mentioned that, a bit of a stat that I came across, the last time an Indian bowler took a fifer before lunch was back in 87, Maninder Singh against Pakistan in Bangalore, and India lost that match.
Yeah, I remember that. That was Mr. Gavaskar's final test match, 87, is it? Is that
87.
87.
Yeah, that was a very famous match. No, but that I think Saimai got 70 or 80 in the fourth innings. Turner, I'll check the scorecard. Please open the scorecard. 1987 India versus Pakistan in Bangalore. It was a minefield of a track. Like it was like the kind of track sometimes we see for the England, Australia and all of that series, similar to that. That I think was his final innings, his final test innings. And he got an 80 odd, if I'm not mistaken, in the final innings, which is considered by many as arguably one of his finest innings. There you see he's the player of the match. That much I know. He just go to the fourth innings. Fourth innings. Okay, Gavaskar 96. Look at the rest of the scorecard. 6-0, 19-3, 26-4, 250, 4-2. India 204 all out. Gavaskar gets 96.
And the target I was just checking was 221, so they didn't lose by much.
Exactly. So that's a historic test match. I didn't know that it happened in this test match. Maninder Singh, by the way, what a bowler Maninder Singh was. Huh? They say that I have heard from... See, that's what happens. That he'll never be considered whenever there'll be a discussion as to one of the best bowlers. That's only because we see a player's performance at the end of his career, right? But nobody will. For example, let me give you a football comparison. Whenever you talk about the greatest footballers, you'll talk about Pele, Maradona, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, nobody speaks about the Brazilian Ronaldo because over a duration did not have that much. But when he was at the peak of his power, maybe he was better than all other players that I'm talking about. Arguably, you could argue that maybe he was.
Good point, because he was revolutionary forward, not the kind of goal poacher. Twice in 2 years, most expensive transfer in the history of the game at that point in time. Ballon d'Or winner at I think 21, nearly 2. Yeah, he was very young when he won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
So again, at that impact which he had at that point was crazy.
Must have been 98,
I'm not even looking at stats. I'm saying just to the naked eye, at the peak of his power, he was unmatched. So I'm saying, again, I'm not comparing
Maninder
coming
Singh
back to Maninder Singh, not comparing him, but I'm saying when he was at the peak, he had the record for I think the youngest debutant. I think made it at 16 years something, if I'm not mistaken, until Sachin came and broke it. So Sachin broke Maninder's record, but his initial years when he was very good, and this comes from foreign batters. So I remember spending a lot of time with Dean Jones, and to a question he was asked the best spinner he's ever faced, he said Maninder Singh, the best spinner that he ever faced, and he faced all spinners during his era, right, while he was playing. So he was very good, but that peak lasted
Was short.
very short. He just lost the zip.
I think again, it's
Suddenly.
just with sport and it goes across sports. You don't remember impact. You remember the overall stat.
Exactly.
You talk about the greatest batters. You will forget. Let's say people who made an impact. Let's say again, Jacques Kallis will not be there when a top run getters.
No, but
when you
Jacques
see-
Kallis will be still spoken
because
of.
Because the numbers are so
But
good.
not let's say some people tend to forget Rahul Dravid, 10,000 plus runs.
No, but those are not fair comparison. Rahul Dravid is a legend, no?
Yeah.
I'm saying those are big guys. Like there are
Still big, yeah.
they are big guys. They'll be remembered for whatever. But certain players will be forgotten, like the Maninder Singh, because that peak lasted very short while. That was the issue. Had it lasted much longer, then you would have been, talking about him as forget globally, but at least one of the best Indian spinners. He does not even come in that conversation simply because he had that and he was unplayable. He was, top notch, but then after a few years just lost that bite.
Yeah, Janta Mendes, right?
Yeah, possibly, yeah. But with Mendes, his USP was that he was something new, a novelty.
Yeah.
So people took time. But once they figured him out,
He was no novelty.
But in
Once people
Maninder,
started
it
breeding
wasn't. Maninder wasn't novelty factor.
He was
there.
classic, but he was
He
very
was
good at the
classic,
classic.
but he was very good. And then this completely lost it suddenly. So that's how it was. However, you look at it. Anyway, coming back to the point, you've gone from Cape Town to Bangalore to FIFA to back to the test match. What have we just witnessed?
We witnessed a team's character, I would say, firstly. What you saw again, and it's interesting that you mentioned Adelaide also a little while before, because again the team's character was in question when they succumbed the way that they did in Adelaide. You were looking and nobody was giving India a chance here as well. There were so many questions that were asked. You made 2 changes, you lost the toss, you thought it was a bad toss to lose. Rohit Sharma would be so pleased. He probably wouldn't have thought.
Well, who asked questions of them when they lost the toss?
Everyone. We did.
The team selection.
But
toss is not in their control.
No, not the toss. I'm saying overall. There were questions.
The team
about
selection?
Team selection.
what
you
question?
were again. They were in a bit of a.
I was very happy with the team selection.
But again, a batter
100%.
less. You took a bit of a gamble. You took a bit of a gamble by taking a batter less.
No, I would have wanted this team to play. I mean, of course, there is no right or wrong answer.
Yeah, but
For me, Rohit Sharma picked the perfect team.
Yeah, and last time there were also questions on the intent by which the team was actually approaching this test series. If they were going for this test series as actually believing that this is the final frontier. Lot of questions on Rohit Sharma, how he was lost in the field during doing the captaincy. But today, that you genuinely saw that comeback, saw that intent. Rohit Sharma again standing himself on short leg when you have seen players like someone like a Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shreyas Iyer coming on that slot, but he knows that maybe they are better at the slip position, so he took that charge. So he totally a new character, I would say, in Test cricket. Rohit Sharma I saw today as come last time and this time.
Not
he
much of
totally-
captaincy actually to do today.
no, I
Like
know.
Siraj you just threw the ball to Siraj.
But then he makes an interesting point because again, when he took that catch, it was I think of Bedingham when Rohit was fielding at short leg. Interesting because again last time around as well the criticism coming Rohit's way was that there was no short leg for Dean Elgar. Again the short ball is something that's been well used by other oppositions in the past, and that short leg came into the picture when he was way past his 100. And remember he did get out to a shortish ball from Shardul Thakur last time around. Today you saw there was a short leg, and that it does act on the mind of the batter, and there was definitely a catch that was taken as well. In fact, in the first match as well, there were a few catches which could have been had there been a short leg, but there wasn't one. So I would say there was learning over there was an aggressive intent over there, and the bowlers did everything to the tee.
But also, I mean, the situation allowed you to have that short leg.
You
I'm
could have
saying
had it from the word go last time around as well.
No, last time you did not, but here also, because of what Siraj did today, I mean, you could afford to have it. Bedingham got out because you were on top of the game by then, right? He got out, I think he was the 4th or the 5th wicket to fall. If you were 30, they were 30 odd for 4 or something, and then he got out. So you could afford
Stubbs, I think it was Stubbs. Not Bedingham got caught in the slip cordon. I think it was Stubbs.
Yeah.
See.
So I mean, you dominated from the start. I think the biggest difference today, again, is definitely Mohammad Siraj. But the reason is that the Indian bowlers figured out the right line to bowl more than the length. I think length they figured last match as well. You bowl that hard shot of good length sort of area in South Africa. But what was different, at least you start with the thorn in India's flesh, Elgar. What you did with him is kept bowling straight to him, and then one slight. As soon as there was one slightly outside the off stump, he's like, oh, he's bowling so straight. I haven't got a chance to get that run of a cut. The first ball he bowls slightly wide. You want, quickly let me get runs. There you get an inside. So I think they played with the patience of the South African batter, and also they won the toss and decided to bat first. That's something. No, but again. We have the benefit of the hindsight.
Even Rohit said he would have wanted to bat first.
But yeah, and the
he did not take
also
that call.
pretty much to bat first only.
Now would you say that?
I don't think it
By
was
a couple of those wickets, a couple of those wickets were poorly given away.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
Look at the wicket of Dizorzi.
Dizorzi, okay.
Even Elgar would be like, oh, what did I do? Like, the ball was straight, it just went with the angle. I don't think there was much movement off the deck.
But whatever.
I'm just saying.
He endorsed that false stroke.
See, again,
this shot also.
This one as well. That was Bedingham, I think. But again, couple of those
not
wickets.
Bedingham. That was Marco Jansen, if I'm not mistaken.
Marco Jansen, I think, got played on, if I'm not.
No, Jansen didn't get played on.
But I think he was caught at first slip.
That was towards the end. Yeah,
Rahul.
That was towards the end.
No, see, today nothing, no point focusing on what Rohit did as captain, what the body language was. This is the Mohammad Siraj show. Simple as. And I'm going to say a very big thing with regards to Siraj that I know people may misconstrue. So putting it out there, not a valid comparison or not a like-for-like comparison, but Siraj does have this ability very much similar to what Stuart Broad could do. When he was in that zone, it didn't matter who was the opposition, it didn't matter what field you had set, he would single-handedly destroy you by doing the same thing over and over. Pitch it in that zone outside of and induce the false strokes. Broad, multiple occasions in his career had that thing. He's done it to New Zealand, he did it to Australia. He's done it to Australia multiple times, in fact, at home. Yeah. So he had that ability wherein he's in that zone, single-handedly destroyed. This is all this was. And Siraj also big redemption for him because last test he was woeful. He was missing his lines, missing his lengths. Here he was consistent.
In fact, I would say it is an improvement both in terms of lines and lengths today, because last time around there were so many looseners. Today you didn't get to see a single loosener out there. There were
that's
three
where
runs.
the line is the difference. Line is a key. I think if you look at their lengths, last match also, they figured after they started getting hammered, then they were wearing their lengths because you're looking for an option. But to begin with, they went with the same lengths. Just that I think the line was an issue that allowed them to free their arms, get those runs. Today, no extra space. You maintained not even corridor of uncertainty. You were quite straight. I thought to begin with. And as soon as like the Elgar wicket, as soon as you gave him some room, he's like, oh, let me get runs. Gets out at that time. And then after that, Siraj, his angle all the time. You look at white ball cricket, you look at red ball. That angle that he creates for a left-hander is very, very tough.
In fact, even for right-handers, because he tends to come a little wide. So, more often than not, he'll come wide. You're thinking, oh, it's going to move. Oh, it's either going to straighten, so you're saving your stump. It'll just move away. Hits the edge, bomb, you're gone.
And the wickets also in South Africa, I think, even in the first test match, it tends to swing a little late off the pitch. More than in the air, it seems a bit more. That really helps someone like a Siraj.
And what's surprising is that it's come on a ground in Cape Town where the ball does less in the air compared to what happens in Centurion, because the higher altitude like a Joburg and Centurion, the ball tends to do a lot more in the air. I'm not talking off the deck movement will depend on the surface, but more so in the air.
But today there was.
That's what I'm saying, but it's less compared to what you get up in the Highlands.
I was surprised to see especially Jasprit Bumrah with that angle that he was creating and the amount of movement he was getting off the deck.
No, so off the deck too you'll get. I'm talking about in the air.
Yeah, today a lot of it was in the air, very late.
Siraj was definitely getting perches in the air.
Yeah.
Even Mukesh,
yes. 2 wickets for him as well.
That first ball only which Mukesh bowled, little bit of an angle, you're thinking, oh, it's going to straighten. He goes for the shot and then it zips away. And I'm like, my God, where did he get that movement from?
I at one point was thinking this was South Africa's way of telling us that, listen, we're not sending a B team to New Zealand, so don't get, because the whole world was angry towards South Africa now that you're sending a B team. So maybe their attempt to tell you that, listen, there is no B team. We don't know which our B team is, whether the one that playing today or the one that is going to New Zealand, because the way they batted today, I mean, look like a B team, C team performance from a team that's just won a test match.
They were playing like lottery winners. You're thinking that these are guys who've just won some sort of a lucky draw. You get to represent South Africa in test cricket. Looked utterly woeful.
But in India's perspective, at times you need such a performance to get your team back. After such a loss, losing by an innings and 30 runs, you need this performance to come back. Even after this Australia 36 all out, you had Rahane who got that
This has
century.
complete MCG vibes from that particular tour.
Exactly.
You know what's really frustrating though? There's no test match after this.
Exactly.
2 test series is an embarrassment.
Just when you see and you think that India up palm now and you got like something to look back to, which is that tour, and you're like, we've got it.
South Africa doesn't want to play test matches.
They
They
really
decided
don't.
not to have.
They've not prioritized it financially. It's making no sense for them. So they're like, okay, we're not going to do it. 6 tours. I think only one of them is a 3 test series in the WTC. That's it.
For them?
Yeah. Or others are all 2. 2 against Windies, 2 against England. There's only one test series, I think, which is a 3 test series. That's it.
Wow.
Like terrible. And because of that, that percentile points, this thing is so favorable because they're playing the bare minimum number of tests needed. So I don't know.
I mean, even though there is a lot of test match to be played from here on, it's just the end of the first innings. But in hindsight, Rohit Sharma would be like, I wish I played an extra batter today, because you really didn't need that one more bowler because of how good Siraj was. But I'm just saying it in hindsight. If you go back at the toss and if you did see a show, or whether if the show was possible to be seen, I don't know, based on the internet issues we had. I was pretty happy with the team that he's picked. I think it was better to go with either a proper batter or a proper bowler in place of Shardul Thakur. But now I'm saying, because it may not be easy for India also to come out and bat, is a situation where you'd be like, I barely needed another.
No, but I think the key thing would be one of South Africa's problem also, that they were ill-disciplined.
No, they were.
The one time really that you needed to see out would have been the first hour or so. See that out, and then you could have started to grind down, because again, last time also, what happened with India? You saw that initial phase where the ball was moving a bit, and after that you had Prasid, who's brought into the team for hitting the back of the line, bowling over pitched. I'm like, what's gone wrong with him? But that's what happens because you're not able to do anything. They had to oversee that part, they didn't. And then after that, it was just a matter of cleaning them up. Oh, and as we can see on our screen, see, Pakistan is the only test series where they're playing 3 tests. Terrible.
Oh, no, but why is it that Pakistan get 3 matches?
Maybe because, I don't know.
So these are all series that South Africa are playing at home. I mean, not all, but the one against Pakistan that we're talking about, that is South Africa playing at home. So clearly it is. See, had they been traveling and it was 3 match, then I'd be like, okay, the home board decides. So Pakistan may have decided to play 3, right? But this is a home series for South Africa, which means the South African board has decided how many tests to play. And so they've picked 3 to play Pakistan.
Maybe because they know Pakistan are a bit of a hopeless team when it comes to tests away from home. I mean, that's no disrespect, but that's really true.
Though today is not the correct day to say that.
But they've already lost the series, so hardly matters.
I know they may very well lose this particular test match
Exactly.
as well, because Sydney, you get runs. It's not that the 260 or how much did they get? So it's not that it is
match saving or anything.
Yeah, 313. It's not that as if it's like, oh, from here on no team can win. Had this come in Melbourne or
Perth,
Gabba, somewhere, you'd be like, yeah, this is a good start. But in Sydney, 313, I think.
It's normally very batter friendly, will tend to spin later on as the test goes by. So this, I don't think, is a lot of runs. It's seen as big runs because you needed a Rizwan and Aga Salman to come lower down the order and rescue you after the top order did what the top order does. Fail.
And some fortunate runs from Ahmed Jamal, like who would have given a chance?
So for that matter, even Shan Masood got a life, just about. Was dismissed, no ball, 10 balls later, Mitch Marsh gets him out.
Babar still hasn't stepped up though.
Yeah.
20 odd, 26 odd for him.
26.
He looked good to start with.
Then Cummins.
Then got out. Got a few boundaries. 3 or 4 fours I saw. And I was like, okay, today he's looking good. And then gets out.
Then Cummins comes.
They take out Imam, they bring in Saim Ayub, he gives you a duck.
No, but he's really highly rated.
He is.
Yeah.
But by the way, he's not played a lot of first class
he
cricket.
hasn't, but they rate him.
It's just that the captain has been talking about some aggressive brand of cricket, and Imam-ul-Haq has this 150 in 4 innings prior to this. His strike rate I think was around 31, 32.
And he has a strike rate of 18
They can't play
domestics.
conventional test cricket, right? And you're talking about playing aggressive test cricket or nonsense.
The captain now wants, Shan Masood wants aggressive brand of cricket.
But Shan Masood, the captain, has been a revelation. I think he's a
As
good
a
captain.
skipper.
Yeah, he's a good captain. But he needs the rest of the team to step up. And maybe sometime a captain getting 100 also helps, right? Just fires up the entire team. So his captaincy has been good, spot on. But if he gets runs, then the rest of the team will be like, okay, our captain. Like Saurav Ganguly did at Brisbane. And from there, the team really stepped up in that.
Rahane 2021.
Rahane 21
Rahane, yes.
makes a big difference, especially in tough conditions. In fact, even that half a series that Virat captained when Dhoni in Australia.
15.
14-15. Even he, like that Adelaide Test match, the way he batted.
It gave India a lot of hope that they could actually chase them when they lost in the end.
Actually, that period that you had under Virat, which is a good period in Test match cricket, started from that particular knocks that he played as captain, where it was the first time he put his intentions out, told the world that this is now my team, and this is how I play, and this is how my team is going to play. And I think that carried on till the time that he was captain. So it helps. So Shan's been a good captain, but for him, if he wants a culture going, which I'm sure he has in mind, whichever culture or whichever way he wants to take his team, he'll have to get a few runs in the way that he wants his team to play. Then the rest of the things may fall into place. But 3 test matches for Pakistan in South Africa, not for India. And you'd be like, imagine after India losing the first test match, I can't really say that they'll win this particular test match. Still a lot of cricket to be played. India have to come out and bat. Second innings, you never know what happens. India had a collapse in the second inning first test. We don't know what happens. If they were to get some 200 odd in the second innings and 100 odd for India to chase, sort of situation also becomes very tricky. Let's not forget India batting last. And this can be a pitch where sometimes the cracks open up and then there's uneven bounce, which I remember from the 2006 series, Cape Town Test. India won all going into Cape Town, and it had become, the pitches started to deteriorate towards the end.
But after
This was the series under Dravid.
This was under Dravid, correct, under Dravid. And this was the series that Ganguly made a comeback.
He had that good knock in the first test, 50 odd, Joburg.
Joburg, and India won that test. Srisant, man of the match. But not for that. For his bowling. But that also happened.
India should not.
Andre Nail. Who would forget?
India should try not to bat the second time around. Should get to a
that's an ideal scenario.
best scenario would be that after getting them for 60.
Ideal scenario.
But I mean, considering how the ball is swinging, I'm not entirely convinced that it's finishing that quickly either.
I saw India getting that heavy roller on a wicket like this where the cracks are there. That could be. Is that the right?
No, I don't think it's a right. But I'm just saying. But because they've hardly batted, right, South Africa. So maybe that has prompted them. There's not been much of work that's happened. I don't think your final innings you're going to take a heavy roller.
Not a chance.
But again, there are cracks. You're seeing them coming into play right now. Maybe, getting a heavy roller right now, is that the right?
But maybe they fear that what if you lose early wickets, us as well, right? So what heavy roller does is that first few hours is good. So they're like, if this match is where it is, first few hours, if you get a base and you get 200 plus, maybe you already have the game in your hand. So why play it safe and light roller, and what if you end up losing wickets? Then you're again even Steven. So they're like gambling. That's a gamble, but gamble with this inning, as you said. Why even look at batting second? So you're like, okay, let's gamble. Let's get a good track for the next 2-3 hours. Get as many runs if you get a good base. So your lead then becomes, enough for you to challenge for a innings win. But if despite your strategy, South Africa were to get runs in the second innings, then but I think I would gamble that way too. If I was captain.
Put
better option.
Put the heavy roller, get 2-3 hours of good action. If you can set a base, get 300, then you probably don't need to bat again.
300 definitely you're not batting again.
Oh, exactly.
Last time around as well, you see, at Cape Town only, I think you're chasing about 220, 230, I think. And across all those 4 innings, you didn't see, scores in excess of 250.
Actually, even if you get 250, 300 is insurance. You get 250, you're probably not needing to bat again.
220, 230 again, but...
would you think South Africa is going to have another collapse like this?
Collapse, no, but
200 would be, yeah.
Third innings, it might be a challenge.
200?
Even if India would have to come out to bat again, I think it won't be.
It'll be academic.
Big, yeah.
What happened to the talks of this is a spin-friendly track and...
Where did that talk come from?
Where are these talks happening?
I don't know.
It's slightly slower than the other
What's
stuff.
slower? Yeah?
So the amount of carry.
Carry like taking the gloves and going. Yeah.
I think seeing
They're
the cracks.
playing
people
Keshav Maharaj
would
for a
be
reason,
saying.
let's not be mistaken.
No, maybe seeing the cracks, people would have.
No, but
assumed.
one spinner they're going to play now.
No, they didn't play last
Last
game.
time there was no
They were
spinner.
playing no spinner.
But that's because you were playing in Centurion.
Yeah.
In Cape Town, if you don't play one spinner, that's because first innings you may not need him, but for the second innings you
will.
would have to play. And when you pick a team, you pick for both innings, not for one. Nobody
is
would
no
have known at
impact
that
player.
time that how this is going to turn out, or 55. But I mean, no matter the pitch, let's be honest. I know a lot of talk will be about the toss, whether it's a right decision or not, and I think there can be argument made from both sides whether it was a right toss to win and then decide to bat. But he may have looked at the cracks which is going to come into the second innings and make it very tough for you to be batting fourth. That's one. And secondly, he may have thought that, listen, we pummeled them to 400 plus last time around, even in tougher conditions. Here we can get those many, then put them into pressure, and they're chasing the game from that start.
Yeah.
But they weren't prepared for 2024. It's a new year, a new start, a new Mohammad Siraj who looked quite toothless in the last test match. Completely different.
But I don't think I would be okay with them going for batting first, because the conditions were again excellent bowling from Siraj, but quite a few bad shots also from the South Africans.
How many
it was a phase.
Two, I would say. Elgar to an extent and Dezorzi.
But even Elgar, I think, was there
Dezorzi
for class.
definitely.
But Dezorzi is more unlucky, right?
No, strangling down leg side.
But that's what I'm trying to say. That is a ball that you want to flick. It takes an edge. I mean,
No, one more who was at who
do you
was
do?
chasing the
it's like it's not a rash stroke.
Huh.
It's unlucky. I mean, the dismissal down the leg side is pretty unlucky. On another day, that goes 4. Slightly more wood on the ball, it's a 4, which is what you want to do for a ball down the leg side. Just help itself to for a fine leg region. This one, it's too thin an edge, goes caught, unlucky.
But I still
What
think
else do you do?
good
with that
batting condition. If India plays out those starting 15-20 overs, I think we
virtually
wouldn't
the
have to
whole
bat.
session.
Yeah. If they bat the full session, we would not have to bat again I think so.
One batter less. Actually, not one batter less.
We have Jadeja.
Yeah, I think they're playing with the same. amount of
Everyone wants to
batters.
play Jadeja here because he can give that batting. So now,
No, plus I'm
why
not.
aren't we counting him as a batter?
No, I think same batters because
Shardul and Ashwin are half a batter each.
I'm not counting them as batters.
So I think
Jadeja, yeah.
Jadeja's still a pure batter. No, in Test, India's problem isn't that you need to play 8. The problem is that none of your bowlers can bat. So they don't really hang in.
4-11s.
4-11s. Other than that, your top 7 are pretty sorted.
Yep.
100 and I think you're sorted. 100.
Who's getting that 100?
These conditions, I would say
Virat.
Kohli.
Virat,
Taylor
yeah,
made
Even
for
I'd
Kohli.
say Virat, but I would want Shubman to get those runs now, starting the year.
Interesting.
Jaiswal. By the way, well done to Jaiswal in the slips. Yeah,
Three catches,
yeah.
The couple of those catches, outstanding catches. The first one, especially the first catch of Makram, was it? Yeah, Makram. The first catch, outstanding catch.
Very quick to get to
fielder.
it.
Brilliant fielder.
And maybe that's why Rohit himself was standing on short leg and took
Fair point.
Jaiswal in the slips.
That's how it should be. A better slip catcher. Again, let's say if that catch hadn't happened, you don't know where the innings
Yeah.
were.
Exactly.
Your slip cordon was the second busiest after Mohammad Siraj.
No.
Definitely.
But see, that's
Fine.
what it had that full feel. Ek aur over. He kept.
Yeah.
Kept going.
Like,
He didn't take a break.
6th, 7th over, you feel that there's a first change coming in.
He
Here,
bowled
he
9
bowled 9.
on the
There
trot.
was a 7th,
no break.
then an 8th, he got a wicket. 9th also, he was then given an over. So,
And he could have gotten in the 10th also, but it didn't reach that far.
yeah. That's
He
what
would
happens
have-
when a bowler's got a tail up. He's ready to bowl. Just
Yeah,
don't take the
yeah.
ball away from him.
He would have bowled 15 overs straight up if there was.
If it really came
Yeah,
down.
pushing it now.
Do that to
No,
him.
no. If you are in such a form, do you really
Arre,
think
but
he would want
15
to?
on the trot.
He
yeah.
would not be wanting to stop if
He would
he's
need to
getting
bowl
these
15 on the
renewals.
trot.
Yeah, then he
First.
would not need
Academic.
But
You'd-
physically speaking, yeah,
Physically
15 on the trot.
No, 9, 10 are good enough. Not more than
But
that.
that's also like a limit in the
I
first
think he
half.
bowled 9.
He bowled
9.
9. 10 is probably like an upper limit for
Yeah,
pacer.
upper limit. After 10, no chance. I mean, even if you want to, the captain's going to say enough.
Sorry.
Bas bhai,
Forget
bas.
the captain. The IPL franchise is going to be watching you, yeah?
He'll call.
Of course, yes.
Stop
No,
this
but
guy.
like the BCCI cannot do much arm twisting when it comes to franchises the way they treat players. The other way around as well. Like
Is it really though? Is it really?
No, what do you, they don't have to tell the BCCI to do it. Na? They'll tell the player directly.
No.
Why
Of
not?
course.
Yeah.
Of course. And all the player needs to do is tell his captain, I'm tired, skipper. I've bowled 9, I'm tired.
And even the skipper
And the
understand,
skipper will
yeah.
agree. How many fast bowlers bowl that much on trot?
Like,
Pakistan have rested Shaheen Shah Afridi from a test match to give him workload.
No, but that day I was
For
listening to
3 20s.
Virender Sehwag.
Unbelievable.
He said that he got 18 overs bowled by Shan Sharma because it was an important game and he wanted to stop. But he said, no, you rest the next game. Today you bowl because this is an important game.
But that's not
In
a
a
very
Ranji
smart
Trophy
play.
game. Ranji Trophy.
That's not a very smart play.
And you know, maybe in Ranji Trophy you can do that. I am saying in a test match you're playing, that Pakistan is playing versus Australia. It's a WTC cycle test match. So each test match then becomes important. Now you can't say, you're going to rest your number 1 bowler. Imagine India resting Jasprit Bumrah in a series, yeah. I mean, did Wasim Akram take rest after 2 test matches when he was playing? If the 5-match series, he'll bowl all 5 test matches, na? Which team does that? Resting your premier fast bowler?
And not just anyone. It's not like you rested Hassan Ali.
That too
It's
when-
like Shaheen Shah Afridi.
That too when
Close to
Naseem
100
isn't around.
overs.
Terrible.
Then again, we're in the era where South Africa is sending a second string team because of SA20. So,
No, but we're not sure whether that's the second string team or this one.
I mean, to be fair, that team has like, I think the most experienced player over there is Dwayne Oliver.
They wouldn't have done much worse than
No,
this
no,
team.
not much worse.
Today, if
Not in
that
these
team was
conditions.
playing, that you were trying to send to New Zealand, they would have got probably more.
New Zealand basically getting championship points for free.
It's a home series for them. isn't it?
Exactly.
You know?
Well, WTC cycle, what does that even mean? That I am anyway not a fan of, because how can you have a test championship final without each team playing the other team? And somebody playing 2, I know you get percentage points and all that.
Percentile
Somebody
points
playing
is dumb.
2 matches, somebody playing 3, somebody playing 5, some not playing in that cycle, some playing more at home, some less away, or
No,
whatever.
I think you need a minimum of 3-3. After that, it's kind of a
But that's what I'm saying, you can do it. Organize 2 more at home.
You can play 3 away and play like 5 or 6 at home. You're
But
done.
then you're elongating the duration. That's the thing.
Doesn't matter. No? If you want to make it,
Then slowly
do
it
that.
will become.
And that's what it will become. It will become the Big 3 championship.
And in a whatever WTC thing, India Pakistan don't play.
Each other.
At
So-
least in World Cups they play.
Yeah, so you'd have to. I mean, you have to have a structure to it. It just can't be okay. Keep doing whatever you
It's
want.
very arbitrary.
You guys keep doing whatever you want. We'll keep keeping scores, and at the end we'll tell you
We'll
which
keep
are the
keeping-
2 which
These
will
are
go.
teething issues.
We'll keep.
Teething.
No, they're not even teething issues. This is the problem, or this is the downside of having a championship whereby you're not having it in league format or any sort of a league format. Then you knew this was going to be the case. You went with it anyway.
Okay, what's the prediction for this session? What does India do? All out, 1 wicket, 2 wickets, 3 wickets, 5. What is it? What is it that's going to happen?
3 wickets, I think, will fall, but they'll get into a good position.
3 wickets in a 2 hour.
If they were
No,
getting
this is the shortest session.
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours, but the last one is the longest.
the last one they can extend. Yeah. I mean, they did extend this also by about 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 wickets for me.
2.
Yeah.
That's a 4 for me.
Who are the 4 wickets?
Could be any, but it's again with the kind of zip that there was on offer. Rabada getting Rohit's number for what?
Eighth,
9
if I'm
dismissals,
wrong.
I think in
Nine,
11
right.
test matches or something. Average is only 14. It's not going to be easy.
So you're saying even Virat would be back
I hope not.
by 4 wickets then?
Why not?
Could be the other 4.
It could be KL.
Let's not
Virat
forget,
would be standing alone.
second innings of the previous test match. He was the only one batting till late.
I'm going with Harshit. I think 4.
Not a mediocre side.
Yeah.
I
I
would hope not.
No, but
think with Berger and Rabada,
Rabada will be charged.
left armour ball coming in.
There's Jansen also.
There's Jansen too.
And of course, Lungi and Gidi.
Though the pitch would have eased up slightly compared to that. See, I'm sure when South Africa won the toss and decided to bat first, they also knew that first 1 hour would have been important. You bide your time, get through that, and then there are plenty of runs. For India, that 1 hour has well and truly passed. You come at the best time of the day to play and get runs. So it's ideal. You've dismissed the opposition for 55. You're going to get the better conditions, the better time of the day to bat and get your runs. So couldn't be any better for India.
For India,
Bat
it's,
today
for India it's
and tomorrow.
back to that cliche we always say, crucial 30 minutes. For South Africa, it was 1 hour because you knew. New ball, best conditions where they were getting air movement, and you didn't see it out.
All I'm saying is I would want from the Indian team, whatever may happen, like, maybe tough conditions, they lose wicket. What I would like to see from them is not play that white ball type of a thing that go bang bang. Take your time, play proper test match cricket. Okay, albeit that you get runs or you don't, whatever that happens on the day, the opposition bowls well, that's fine. But just play proper test match cricket, show patience, leave some few deliveries, don't play rash strokes, play proper cricket. And then let's see where that takes you. I think that would be a good approach. I would want the youngsters to do well. He mentioned Shubman, of course, but I want Yashasvi to do well because this is that churn that's happening in Indian cricket. You'd want the next bunch to filling in the spots that have been left vacant. So I hope they get runs, because if they get runs here in South Africa and it's nicely set up, then it augurs well, gives you that confidence that I can play well at this level, right? Runs against West Indies don't count much. So versus South Africa, in South Africa, indeed. Those are runs that you'll remember.
Especially when you consider even in the last series, you were not seeing anything above 250, 270 for the most part. So those are runs to be valued. Whatever you're scoring, the runs you should cherish.
Absolutely. Shall we?
Yes.
Bye.